Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's very strange.
What's strange? What's it doing?
I'm looking at my YouTube screen. Oh, there we are. Oh, now and I see here the chimes there too. Okay.
I just took out the note taker.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that.
Those things are a
Go
pain
back to
in the
here.
ass.
From the curious edge of technology, where ideas become systems and systems become breakthroughs. Welcome to Zanuck Studio, where human imagination meets machine intelligence. And together, we build the future now.
Woohoo! We're
Yay!
live this morning.
Good
That's
morning,
okay.
everyone. Good to see your smiling faces. Hope it's bright and
Welcome.
sunny where you are.
It's
No.
dark and windy
Well,
and wet.
oh
Yes,
no.
it is sunny.
Well, Dean and I are in sunny places. That's good.
Well, it's 4:02 in the morning, so give me a break on the dark. But the wind and the rain, yeah, it started last night and it's still going.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're in May gray.
May gray.
That's
Oh,
what they call it. California is May gray, June is June gloom.
oh
Because
my.
every morning that comes in from the ocean,
Hmm.
which we love, mind you, because it gets up to 90 to 100 degrees. So we love having the mornings be May gray and June gloom
Okay.
before it hits 100.
Well, here in Colorado, or at least in Colorado Springs, the snow is almost melted. And my joke for the week was that we've had more winter in the first week of May than we had all winter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, more winter in the first week of May than you had all winter. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. We just didn't
interesting.
get enough snow, you know?
Huh.
So, well, welcome everyone to Zandikin
Mm.
Studio Open Office Hour, where we go over questions and share what we're doing with AI. And then I do have a demo to show you from Claude. So happy to introduce you to Claude. And Helen, please welcome also to my co-host Helen, who manages the creative side of Zanikin Studio. Helen, go ahead and start us off.
Well, kia ora and good morning, everyone. It is a wet and cold day, early morning thing here in New Zealand. But that's okay. We're in May, we're in autumn right now, so we're heading into the winter month. It's not a problem. It's nice and it's cool. I don't even have my blanket on yet or my heater on, so it's mild temperatures right now. But welcome. So this week, and so we're going to talk about what we've been using AI for this week. When we were on the cruise, excuse me, you have to excuse the foggy throat. It's a little early in the morning. Um, when we were on the cruise, we got given a prompt to use about generating income for your business. And so I have created that. I did it both in ChatGPT and Claude because ChatGPT knows me, Claude does not. So I wanted to see what the comparisons were between the two. And I will tell you this, there was not a lot of difference between the two, which surprised me. Because like I said, ChatGPT knows me. I've been training it for months, a year at least. And Claude doesn't know me at all, but Claude asked clarifying questions and then was able to determine what I needed to do with my genealogy business to get income coming in. And I've let it sit and percolate for about a week. And then yesterday I got clarity on it. So today we're going to be moving forward with that. The other thing I've been using AI for is with the genealogy side of it is when I come across handwritten certificates like death certificates, marriage certificates, parish records, and all of those sorts of genealogy records that were handwritten in the 1800s, 1700s, 1900s, and all that. Is if I can't read it, I take a screenshot, throw it into ChatGPT, and go, please transcribe, and it goes, "Brrr," and
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. It is awesome. And if it's in a foreign language, it will translate it into English. So I get it to translate and transcribe. And so I had a what was it, German document this week that I put in there and said, can you please no, sorry, a Brazilian document that I put in this week and said, can you please transcribe and translate this image? And it went, "Brrr," and I'd still go in and check the details to make sure that yes, it is reading it correctly, because sometimes there are things like A's and O's and E's that can look different. And so it might do a misspelling and stuff, but it helps with the initial clarification of looking at the record. Is this the right record that I need? What does it say? And things like that. So yeah, I think they speak Portuguese. They speak Portuguese in Brazil, is it? Yeah, so translated from Portuguese into English, and there was all the information I needed, and it had all the correct information there because I could work out some of the handwriting bits, but there were some bits that were unclear. And when it came, I was like, "Oh, yes, that's what it is."
Oh,
So, and even census records, it'll go and transcribe. It'll go and transcribe all the census records as well. Which, if you see the census records, they are a mess. They are a mess. But yeah, so I've been using it to ChatGPT's been awesome in transcribing genealogy records. And then Terza sent me a couple of articles, one on a thing called ProPass. And so it's an online service for teaching people different things. So I've applied for that. And then she sent me an article about Ancestry, and what they're doing with some of the stuff where they're taking like as a grandmother's school report and creating an audio story out of it. And I'm like, well, this is going to be interesting. So that's a new tool that I haven't heard of, probably because it's in somewhere in my email, that I'm going to go and investigate this week. So who else has been using AI and what you've been using it for this week? And the crowd goes silent. Hey, Paul.
I can't get away from using AI.
yes.
I'm in
But-
there on a daily basis. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like it's the things that they don't tell you that then things go wrong. So I have a solar power system here on my house, and yesterday around 8:30 in the morning on a beautiful sunny day, it stopped generating power. It's like, and I didn't notice it till this morning because the batteries are saying, "Hey, we're discharged down to 10%, which
Wow.
is their minimum." So okay, I gotta go backtrack. So the alerting system didn't work. But on the
So if
other
you
one,
suddenly disappear, the power's given out on that last 10% of battery. Got
yeah, basically.
it.
Uh, but I've been using Copilot, and it went down a rabbit hole with me. I'm working with Open Jarvis, which allows models to run locally on your machine. And I'm also researching a little bit of OpenClaw, but they seem to overlap a little bit. So Olama and OpenClaw seem to go together. OpenJarvis uses Olama to do the models, and then has its own agents and wherewithal to what they call skills and tools. But yeah, Copilot, there was an issue with I had downloaded four models, a couple lightweight ones and a couple of heavyweight ones. And the last model downloaded was the one that the system was using on the browser. And so Copilot was telling me, well, let's take a look at the IP addresses because it's localhost. And it says, no, that's the wrong IP address. But, I hadn't changed anything. And then it was going down. I was telling it, well, it looked like it's using the last model loaded, and it refused to accept that. It's like, no, that's not right. So I deleted the last model loaded, and it used the next model in the list. I said, aha, here's proof. It says, no, that's just because it was cached someplace, blah, blah, blah. It made up all kinds of excuses to say that it was still right, and there was something wrong with the networking and the IP addressing. So it's like, oh. Anyways, I found,
Interesting.
yeah, and I finally had to myself go and actually read the code.
Oh my.
Yeah, and figure it out. There is a selection list on the GUI that is different than running the back end. So the model startup process was you would run a llama, run the model, run the back end server, run the front end, which is a GUI on the browser. Um, don't have to run the llama stuff because the server will set up whatever you put into the config file. So I only had one model specified in the config file. The GUI, on the other hand, ask a llama, what are the models you have? A llama gives it back a list of all the models. There were four in the order of last one. You know, the first, the last one that was downloaded is the first one in the list, if that makes sense. And then the GUI would say, great, that's the model I'm going to use. It didn't matter what I had started up on the back end. Yeah, so, and I finally figured that out, and I played around with it. I opened up a chat window and then the browser chat, and it will actually switch between the two models real time, which is kind of bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But a grade of a D minus for Copilot and the assistance on this one.
Oh, gee. Oh, Paul, would you mind sharing with us why you are preferring or exploring doing it locally rather than on the internet?
Mainly, I'm wanting to learn about how the big guys are putting these things together, but it's a lot about privacy and security. I want it to do things on my machine and then do things on the internet for me on my behalf. And I don't want Google to know any more than they already know more about me. And then there's Anthropic and all the other ones that I use. And the other factor is I don't want to pay for it because I have a machine that I built that should be able to do some of this stuff for me, or find out what's that threshold of what the systems out there will do, how much does it cost versus what my system will do, and then pay for what I need it to do, as opposed to what my machine can do on its own.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so it really comes down to I don't want to throw money out there. And then what was it? The Comet browser, which is Perplexity. I was using it to try to verify some of the stuff with Copilot, and it does really good. It will search the page and navigate you. It glows blue when it does its own searching. You can see all this stuff. Then last night it said, oh, you ran out of tokens for the month. And I'm saying, it's only the 7th. I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So here again, it's like if I can run this stuff locally, then I can use it locally too.
Right,
It would be nice if they turn around and say how many tokens a process is going to take or
Yeah,
a thing is going to take so you can work out which ones you want to do and which ones you don't want to do.
right.
That would be really nice.
Yeah, but it's a good learning process because, one is you're learning what the LLMs are actually capable of doing, at least on the open source free models. And then, how they hook up together for speech processing or text to speech or speech to text kind of stuff, image processing. And this gets down to like, the sites that we visited here during your session, how to make a short video or how to make a music video or something like that. Yeah, all the free stuff is 10-second clips, or if you pay for it, maybe 60-second clips. That's just because of compute power and all that. Well, if I would let it run for 24 hours on my machine, what can I get out of it? So how do I put that stuff together?
Awesome. That's
Ooh,
awesome. Thank you
I
for
hear I
sharing.
hear the bong.
that's my
Must-
grandfather clock.
So, who else has been using AI this week and what have you used it for? Nobody?
Well, I'm
Peggy.
continuing
Oh, Dean.
with the voice AI, as I
Yep.
mentioned last week, and I've really I've really spent about 4 days with this one model and using the Ask AI feature inside of Go High Level, which is really pretty sophisticated. And I've actually got a voice AI agent that can sell. She qualifies the caller. She wants to know, like, if someone wants to sell their home, she asks them what is the time frame they're looking at, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6, whatever. And she qualifies them either one way or the other. And if it's going to be more than 6 months, she will put them in a nurture drip type campaign, offer them a property evaluation, and that activates a workflow, a 12-month workflow of a nurture. And I never get the call. I never get the transfer. And if they are selling within the time frame, and then there's about 4 other qualifications that they have to meet, then she builds a complete file on them and then transfers the call to me. So
Nice.
that back and forth, getting her to ask the question, like, have you done any upgrades? Have you remodeled it? Have you done any remodel or upgrades to the home in the last few years? At first, they would talk for about 10 seconds, and she would cut off and go into the next question. And now I've trained it to where whatever they did until they pause, so I get to find out all the remodeling and upgrades and so forth they've done to the home, which increases the value and so forth. So it's been a labor of love, and I've got it connected where it's actually performing workflows. She will send a transcription of the entire call to me when she transfers the call. So I'm able, or whatever agent, if I, so it's pretty amazing. You could be driving in your car, not able to take any notes. She builds a complete contact file in your CRM for you while she populates that while on the call, and then she gathers all the notes. And if they qualify, she checks with the caller, says, "Well, let me see if Dean is available," and then she calls you, and there's a whisper feature. So when you're getting the call from her, she lets you know what the qualifications are for this caller before you say hello.
Wow. That's
So
Wow.
that I'm
amazing.
very
That's
pleased with.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is huge. Congratulations.
Wow. That just blew my mind.
I have to hire Dean.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Wasn't that a presentation on Debbie Morrow's? Did that fella speak a couple weeks ago, or is this something that you made up?
I don't think, well, there is a woman named Christina Rowland who has a very sophisticated layered system, but it's not the voice agent. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, because I always see Peggy in Debbie Morrow's Thursday morning network meeting. She's a loyal participant. So anyway, this has been sort of a labor of love, and you start at 10 o'clock at night and you look up and it's 1 a.m. and you're like, oh my God, I got to go to bed. Because I'm
Know
geeking
that
out
feeling
with
very
it.
well.
That's what,
That's awesome. Congratulations, Dean.
I've been hearing that, Dean, from other people, especially on X. They get so excited by what they can create and what they're vibe coding, that yes, they're staying up to all hours of the night and all through the day. And so a common complaint is, I'm doing more work than ever. So,
But then once the work is done, the time is saved and the money is made.
Well, exactly, Helen. What I'm doing is I'm creating this for me for now, but I'm also laying the groundwork for the future. I think I've stumbled onto something here, and if I can really make this thing bulletproof, I've tried to break it several times, and I have. Then I can offer it out to other realtors as sort of a packaged productivity package for them.
right.
That's awesome. Congratulations. We want progress reports on how many sales you get through it.
Yeah, well, that's the key. Can I turn it into? Can I monetize it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well done. Excellent. Okay, who else has something that they've been using AI for this week?
Well, I have been venturing into making an app, which is
Awesome.
yeah. So I listened to a video on YouTube about a week ago, and this woman just was talking about making an app and how easy it was. And I'm like, I am like I'm sure everyone on this call, I am the least techie of anyone here. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, you know. So I went on chat, no, I think it was Claude last night, and and Dean, like these 1 o'clocks, 1 to 2 in the morning is just like I got to get over this. But I use the so I don't think I told you guys about this. There's something called an AI council that Claude does. It evaluates your business and your business ideas. It's really fabulous. So I went on Claude to do this, the idea about the app. I've written a book with another with a partner, and it's on network marketing. So the book's done, but we haven't published it. We haven't done anything with it. And my first strategy was to create a course. But then I was thinking, maybe I heard this woman talk about this app, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go after the app idea. And going back to the woman who talked about the app, she said that there's a bigger trend now for putting out apps. I mean, it's in the beginning of the trend, but that there's less people. I mean, less. I mean, it's still a big thing, taking courses and selling PDFs. But she said the direction is going into apps instead of selling courses and PDFs. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll be ahead of the curve. And I went into Claude and put in this idea about doing an app for network marketers. And is that viable? I haven't gotten the answer. Claude gave me this huge list of questions, because I said to it, ask me any question you want that will help you be 95% confident that your recommendation is accurate. So gave me a big list of questions that I still have to answer. And so that's what's happening. I feel like I'm just, I'm taking baby steps into this app project, and I'm looking forward to it. And I guess I was a little inspired, Terza, when I wrote you that note and I said, did you design this Done It app? I'm like, oh my God, but you're light years ahead of me. As far
Oh,
as
no,
that.
no, you are coming along so quickly. This is one of the things I love about AI right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. So,
that's
and
awesome, Sarah.
thanks.
Sorry.
Sorry, can you give us the name of that Claude feature once again that your consults with you? Is that what I understood?
Yeah, sure. It's just called it's wait.
Is it AI Council? Is that the one you're referring to?
Yep. AI Council, and with 5 advisors. And you just ask it. So it what this woman's premise was is that you can go into Claude or chat, and chat, they'll just tell you, somebody will go in and say, I want to sell peanut butter. Is this a good idea? And they don't give any background or anything. And so chat, I don't know so much Claude because I haven't worked with Claude as much, but they'll just mirror you. Oh, yes, it's a great idea. And these are the steps that you should take to make this happen, and this is a plan, and these should be your goals. And so it just agrees with your idea. It doesn't evaluate it. Is it strong? Does it make sense? And so someone came up with this idea of this AI council, and it's made up of five advisors. Off the top of my head, one is one that sees the obstacles, one is one who sees the opportunities, one and when you're asking Claude to do it, you want to give it as much information as possible. So I gave Claude the goals that I wanted to create for the idea that I put in at that moment. I'm doing a group coaching program for CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, and so I put it into Claude. And it really gave me some great ideas, and and it was nice. Claude validated, gave me some downsides of think of things the way I was looking at marketing it, and then but validated that this was a great idea and to move forward. So I decided, okay, I'm going to do that with my network marketing book. I thought, so yeah, that it. I think that's all you need to do, Dean, is I think go into Claude and just say, please give me AI counsel. I mean, I can, while we're on the phone, I can quickly get the prompt, but it's a little long. So
No, I would love that, Sarah. Plus, I when you're ready to share your app, we'd love to see it.
Absolutely.
fabulous.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Peggy.
Well, I did download Tirza's app, but I can't find it on my phone to use it. So I don't know how it disappeared. I opened it up. I was looking at get the done, and I put some duns in it, and then I don't know where it went. So do I have to download it again, or because
No,
Now,
you
what you
shouldn't
can do,
have
if
to.
you're on an iPhone,
uh-huh.
okay, so on the iPhone, you have a place that when you're in there, there's a little button down here that says search, and you click on the search button down here and type in the name of the app.
Where? Oh, I guess I should put glasses on so I could actually see that. Okay, thank you for that. That's great. And then I've been using Claude this week. I had just a incredibly horrible week. Did you know that you can't go to the post office and get a change of address? You have to do it online, but you can't do it online. And it only
Terrible,
Yes.
Peggy.
25
Terrible.
tries to get logged in with the correct information. So I spent an hour and a half not realizing I wasn't going to be able to change it online. So I don't know. Anyway, just I had one of those days where no matter what I did, I didn't get it done. And so I get to repeat that today. And I wonder, can I use Claude? Is there an AI where I could tell it to go change the address or go log into? That's what I need.
That would be really good because when I moved back to New Zealand, I could not do the change of address online because I was going international. I had to actually go to the post office. So I go to the post office and said, "Hey, I'm changing my address. I'm moving back to New Zealand." And they turned around and says, "So?" And I looked at them and said, "Well, I need to file my change of address." And they said, "Oh, which country are you moving to?" I said, "New Zealand." They said, "Oh, we don't do that. We'll only do it if it's Canada because that's the only place we'll forward the mail to." And I said, "I'm not looking to forward the mail. I need to change my address so I get taken off the electoral roll. I get taken off the jury's notices and all that sort of stuff." "Oh, we don't do that here." They've refused to take my change of address for an international address. So I don't know if I've missed jury service or anything like that, but hey, I got in and out of the country with no problem. So there's obviously no bench warrant for my arrest for not turning up for jury service.
On the other hand, though, you get to be the police officer who gets to serve that bench warrant. Wow, what a trip, right?
But usually they
Right.
flag it on your records and stuff. Like there was somebody, AJ on the cruise said that there was a hold up in us disembarking from our cruise because 3 people were arrested. And that's one thing that they do. They get the passenger manifest and they run it against all the databases and stuff to see if anybody has outstanding warrants. And then they will arrest them as they come off the ship.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And there
Wow.
was one cruise I was taking Casey down to do a ship tour on one of the Carnival ships when we were doing a group cruise years ago, and we were delayed and delayed and delayed, and standing in the doorway waiting for people to come out with DEA agents. They had the jackets on with DEA written across the back because it was something like the EDDM or EDD something or other cruise. It's electronic music where you'll get high to, and people will smuggle their drugs on board, but they don't want to, but coming off is another story because they can't bring them off with they can get them on, they just can't get them off. And so people were actually being arrested as they were coming off the ship for having drugs on them. And they were trying to find some people and they'll be hiding in some corner of the ship trying to smoke their stash before they got off.
Well, that's interesting. I wondered why those people got arrested, and I didn't know how they knew that they got
They
arrested
put the
before
manifest,
the
and it
rest
could
of us
be
got off.
outstanding. It could be outstanding warrants. It could be
Yeah,
outstanding
no, I just
back child
didn't.
support. alimony payments, anything that they could get arrested for. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But they get the manifest, but I didn't know that they got the
yeah, the
manifest.
authorities get the
Wondered why
manifest.
it took so long for us to, so they must come on ship and grab those people or,
They grab them as they come off.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they may call them down. I don't know if they actually no, they can't go on. The FBI can go on the ship and arrest them,
Oh,
but the DEA has to do it as they come off the ship.
so when they go to customs to get back in the country.
Yeah, so the FBI can go on because it's international waters.
Oh,
The ship's an
okay.
international entity.
That was super interesting. Well, I learned
Yeah.
something brand new that didn't have anything to do with AI. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Sarah. Changing an address at the post office is like trying to get into Fort Knox. I would agree with that.
So
They said,
I
"Oh,
have
you
to
do the change of address online." Said it's an international address. They won't do it.
I have to
Yeah.
tell you, I unfortunately moved my address 4 times last year, and every time I went into the post office to make the change, they said you couldn't do it, like Peggy said, and then I said, but I don't. I live overseas right now, and I can't come back to verify it because I'd had that problem a year earlier, and she
Mhm.
said, oh, no problem. I'm verifying you now, right? I went back, put the change in, and she had not verified me, and it was just a mess, you know. So
Yeah.
don't move.
I did move. I'm just changing the address. My
Yeah.
mailings got changed, but not me.
So I
Really?
think Terza has
Yeah.
a Claude presentation for us today. Is that right? Oh, wow. I'm excited.
Let's
Yes.
get on with it.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other AI uses this week, or we'll get on with the presentation? Nope. Everybody wants to learn about Claude this week. Terza, take it away.
All right. I had a lot of fun this week learning about Claude. So give me a moment while I cue things up. Claude is actually wonderfully friendly. And hold on, let's move over into here. A couple of things that I want to share with you. I just wanted to get the right screen up before I share my screen, hopefully. Okay. Well, I have a couple of things to share with you. First of all, here's you should be looking at my window that has Claude on here, and the thing with Zoom is there's always something to move around. All right, so I watched several YouTube videos. I went through a couple of demos myself, and then I decided one of the things about that's important for all of these LLMs, including Claude, is giving it really good, better prompts. And so I decided, let me just try a different prompt here. And so I gave it a goal this time. And this is the free version, okay? So just so you know, that they've really, Anthropic has really ramped up what they're offering at each level, including the free level. So I said to Claude, I gave it a goal. I said, teach a meaningful demo for solopreneurs age 50 plus who are new to using Claude about Claude skills in less than 10 minutes. And so apparently went off and found one of its own skills, a front-end design skill. And then it says, let me build this demo. Presentation is a polished interactive artifact. And then it created a file, read a file, and it says, here's your complete 10-minute demo deck. Well, now I thought maybe it was going to give me slides, and it did, 8 slides, fully interactive, and here's what's on each of the slides. It also included, that I didn't ask for, was a built-in 10-minute countdown timer, a progress bar at the top, so I guess I can track how I'm doing with the presentation, and then keyboard navigation and interactive prompt tabs. Now, I won't run it from here. I went ahead and downloaded it because, and then when I brought it up again, so let me stop sharing this screen and go back to a different screen. And let me get over there. Oops, share. So when I clicked on, I downloaded it, it was an HTML file. And when I opened it up automatically in ChatGPT Atlas. So, actually, I will go through this presentation with you just to kind of give you an overview. It turns out to be even easier than this to create a skill in Claude. But first of all, let's go into. I want you to think about Claude skills as teaching Claude to follow your personal playbook. So every response sounds like you and not a robot. This is one of those customizations. It's a little bit like, an awful lot like GPTs in ChatGPT that Helen taught us to use several months ago. So it's very similar to that, but of course it's different because it's Claude. But by the end of this, you'll be able to create your first skill. So actually I should, wait a minute. So we can do the whole timer thing here. Let's go back. So now you should be able to, I don't know if you see up here, let me know if you can see the 10-minute timer. Okay.
Yes, we can see that
All right,
in
just
the
for fun.
progress bar.
Okay, great. All right, so what is a skill exactly? A skill is a set of instructions you give Claude once, and it remembers them every time you ask for that type of help. So think of it like a new employee that you've trained. You only explain your style once, and after that, they just do it your way. And an example is you want to do one skill, one topic per skill. So in this case, you could do an email writer skill, and you'll give it your tone and what you expect from it. In this case, signing off with your tagline. Or a social post skill. In this case, short, punchy, uses your hashtags and no jargon. Or an invoice follow-up skill, firm but kind, with your pricing and your policy. Or even a blog intro skill. Basically, if you do something more than twice, you'll want to use Claude to create a skill just for you. Or alternatively, there must be thousands of skills, well, at least hundreds of skills out there already. You could tap into those, but you can also just create your own. So the difference between using a skill and not using a skill. Without a skill, you have to re-explain your tone every single time. The response sounds generic and not like you. And then you could spend 10 minutes or more editing to fix the style. And your brand details are probably missing or wrong. But with a skill, one short prompt is all you need. The output matches your voice instantly. It's ready to send in 60 seconds or less. I probably emphasize the less. With your name, tagline, and prices all preloaded. This is similar to what Dean's been doing with Go High Level when he's been creating his voice agents. And so what we can do together, sorry, I'm getting over a cold from the cruise. So it's just 4 simple steps. If you just open up your Claude, you can do it along. But the first thing would be to pick your task, choose one thing you write repeatedly for your business, and then second, write your skill. You only need 3 sentences. Who you are, what your tone is, and your rules, and especially include things you don't want it. Tell it the things you don't want it to do or say. Then you just test it live, give it a real task, and watch the skill in action. And then refine it and save it. Tweak one thing at a time, save it, and then use it forever. And here's what a skill looks like. In this case, we're going to pretend that I'm Sandra Reeves, a life coach for women over 50 entering the workforce. So when writing emails for me, use a warm, encouraging tone, keep it under 150 words, never use corporate jargon, and write like you're talking to a friend. So is the name, what it is I do, right? What tone I want it to use, and how to always sign off. And then what I don't want corporate, if I were Sandra, I don't want corporate jargon, and I want to write like it's talking to a friend. And then so the prompt then, once you've entered this skill, then when you give it the prompt, you say, write a follow-up email to a client named Maria, who attended my workshop last Tuesday but hasn't booked a discovery call yet. So then what Sandra would type after setting up the skill is, this is a quick, ready-to-use prompt. Claude already knows Sandra's tone, length, and sign-off, so she doesn't have to repeat herself. And then here's the result. As an example, subject is I've been thinking of you, Maria, with a little pink flower. Hi, Maria. It was so wonderful to have you in the workshop last Tuesday. Your energy in the room was infectious. I wanted to reach out because I'd love to continue our conversation. A 30-minute discovery call is completely free, no pressure at all, just a chance to explore what's possible for you. Would Thursday or Friday afternoon work? With you at every step. So this is how we train the LLMs, especially Claude, to become our personal assistant. So it's warm tone, under 150 words, and I can't quite see what's behind here, but. So 3 ways to begin today. You can copy and paste. You could just use Sandra's skill template from the last slide and swap in your own details. You could ask Claude to build it, which is absolutely fun, and start with one rule. You don't need a perfect skill. Start with a single instruction and build from there. And the 5 things that make skills work from solopreneurs who have been doing this for months: 1 skill per task. Keep your email skill separate from your social media skill, separate from your newsletter skill. Tell Claude what not to do, such as don't use the word synergy or don't add a PS. These negative rules are surprisingly powerful. Include your actual details, your real tagline, price points, real sign-off, because like with prompts, generic skills produce generic results. Update it as you grow. You can update your skill in 30 seconds and save it in a doc, just the same way that Helen taught us to save our customized instructions. Sarah. You have a
Okay.
question? Yeah.
I do have a question. I mean, I could have waited to the end. I'm curious. Can you? So I'm working on YouTube description box and how to, make a template and get this. A lot of the information in there has to be in there for every single video, and then there's other things that are, geared toward just that specific video. Could Claude? Is that a skill? Or is that too much?
Oh no, that's something you can create a skill just for you
Right.
in Claude. You can do that. That's not too much. That's the YouTube
Okay.
description, title, hashtags, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now you're ready to build your first skill. Open a new Claude chat, paste in your skill, and try it on a real task. And here, just to review, you're going to write 3 sentences: who you are, your tone, and 1 rule. Paste it at the start of a Claude conversation, and give Claude a real task and see what happens. So, and that was actually under 10 minutes. Now, you may want to go ahead and just try this yourself. So I'm going to stop sharing and clear my throat here and come back.
Terza, in the comments, Dean wants to know, do you mind sharing this slide deck with us?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that. I'll include that in the email, or I'll put it as a file you can copy. And you can probably ask Claude to make one for you as well. So, yep.
And Nancy would like to know, there are different versions of Claude. Should we use a specific version? That's a good question.
That's a really good question. So the 4.6 models are at the moment are the top of the line. So Sonnet 4.6 and Opus 4.6 will give you more detailed, better thought out responses. Do be aware though that this can consume more tokens.
Hey,
So if you have a
Terza,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You know how everything changes weekly now with these.
Daily.
So I'm using the free version of Claude, and I'm using 4.6, and I believe, I'm guessing the paid version is probably 4.7. whereas minstrel is probably maestro, whatever, is probably the higher level at 4.8 or whatever that institutions use. I'm not sure, but I'm using 4.6, the free version.
Okay. And are you liking the responses that you're getting?
I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with the responses for a free version. I'm amazed.
Yeah. So let me pull up Claude. What I went ahead and did, it offered me, these days when an LLM offers me something, I usually say yes. In this case, Claude said, or Anthropic said, go ahead and download the Claude app, and so I did, and here it is. It's now you can see it looks like the Claude that we're used to, but it's not attached to a browser. But it has the things that we're. Here's what Dean was talking about. Let me go over here first. This is the free version, but you can see there's Sonnet 4.6. If you want adaptive thinking, Sonnet 4.6 adaptive. Okay, that's a new one. I'll turn that off for a moment. And then for more models, as Dean said, you'd have to upgrade for Opus 4.7, which is their top model. And that's true for 4.6 as well as 3. But we have access to Haiku 4.5 and Sonnet 4.5 and Sonnet 4.6 with adaptive thinking. So we have many choices to choose from. I don't know if that helped you, Nancy.
What's more models? Is that the sonnet, or is that what you just showed us? That was the adaptive more models? Oh,
These
okay,
are all
thank
the
you.
different models.
Yeah, it was what you just showed us. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, to Claude is similar in some ways structurally to ChatGPT. Over here, of course, you would have this is where you have your new chat. Just like ChatGPT, you can also customize you can create projects like you can do in ChatGPT. And then Claude has something it calls artifacts, which is a little bit different. These are things you've created in Claude that you can share with others. So, for example, when I was exploring doing AEO for HVAC companies, apparently I created this artifact so that I could talk to HVAC companies about it. Or voice capture. I mean, it saved all of these things that I've created that I didn't realize I had actually. And I could then go off and share these. The other thing you can do is, if with the upgraded version of Claude, is you can invite your team to share in all of these things. So the beauty of that is if you have a team, you can make sure that all of you are using the same skills and branding so that your company, you're all using the similar voice and branding and colors. So, and then like ChatGPT, you can also tell it what apps you prefer, and here's where you create the new skills. If you just click on that, it's actually even easier than you might imagine. It has its own skill creator, and you just tell it what you want, and it will ask you questions on so you just go over here. Sorry, I'll jump in one more. You click on create a skill. You can see what's available here if you click browse skills, but if you just want to create one, you just go over here to create with Claude, and it will say, let's create a skill together. First ask me what the skill should do. So if I say, yeah, let's go with that, it'll actually walk you through the steps of what you need to do. So you don't need to be afraid. You can just jump in and start. So Claude is, I'm ready to help you build the skill. What do you want to do? Feel free to describe it however feels natural. A problem you keep running into, a workflow you want to automate, a type of output you want. the more detail you share, the better I can shape it. And then you can always say, ask me questions until we plan it out. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, anywhere do they discuss the security aspects or the privacy aspects of using skills that someone else has created?
No, other than there are other places where people talk about being cautious about them.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just curious about because, it's like downloading a plugin for your browser, unless there's some rating system or some ability to trust the origin, and you don't know what it's going to do. If it will do what you want it to do. That's the reason they stick it up there, but it could do other stuff.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a great question. Peggy.
Okay, so we have voting coming up. I vote. And we have a lot of people that I've never heard of running for things, and it will take hours and days to find what their skills are and what they're qualified. Can I just put their names in like Claude and have Claude compare each of the people to each other and tell me who has the best skills for the job? I mean, or give it the prompts or what I'm looking for,
Let's
because
see.
I mean, we've got judges. I don't know who any of the judges are. We've got people that didn't say anything about themselves, so I don't know what their skills are. I don't know if they're on LinkedIn or Facebook or so. Is
Evaluate
or is there
judges.
a better AI to use?
Well, I will go ahead and type this in here, Peggy, but I do really like Perplexity for that.
Okay,
Perplexity is wonderful. You go to Perplexity and you say, tell me about so and so. And whatever your questions would be, as though you were talking to them. What's their track record? What do people complain about? What do people like? And you could give them a whole list of the judges that you get to vote for or against.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Superior Court judges and they always are elected. So are they doing a good job or are they not doing a good job? Got to find out, right?
Yes. Yes.
Don't
Do
know
your due
them.
diligence.
The only one I know is Ito, and he's not running.
Sarah.
Okay, so you've just done this demonstration. Was this on Claude on Galaxy, or do you have a subscription to Claude?
No, this is free Claude. This is just Claude AI.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like if you can build skills and then pull them together, it sounds like that would almost be the start of a foundation for building an agent. Is that makes
Or
sense?
workflow. Yes. In
Okay.
fact, instead of just creating a skill here, let's just go over to a new chat and we'll ask Claude. So, um, let's see. You're, let's see, an expert AI educator. Tell my audience about building skills, agents, and workflows. Keep it brief and easy to read. And Claude will tell us. Just like we used to do with ChatGPT. It's pretty much very similar. And it's fun to watch it thinking sometimes. So it's three
Yeah.
building blocks.
Huh.
So skills are what the AI can do, agents are autonomous goal pursuers, and workflows are chained sequences of steps.
Wow.
And yeah, here we go. It's just building out the I love how it just builds the diagram here in real time. And yes, I'll be happy to share this with you. So
Wow.
it says tap any card to go deeper. And what I can do, I think I can just save this as an artifact that I can then share with you to put into your into your own Claude
Mm.
and artifact.
I have another question here.
Okay, with my audience. Go, while it's doing that, go
Okay,
ahead, Sarah.
I just keep thinking about marblism, and so marblism is a group of AI agents, and that's basically what we're talking about here. That's accurate? Okay,
That's accurate, very much so, very much so.
but they did all the
Marbleism,
work, right?
well, they honed in on 6 different, basically skill sets.
Uh-huh.
Gave them a name, gave them a nice little picture, similar to what Dean did with his voice agents. He gave them a name and I think he gave them an image as well.
Ah, uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm kind of blown away. This is the shareable HTML artifact that Claude is building for us real time, and I'll be able to share with you after the call.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, what
Mm.
AI can do for us. I made a Facebook post earlier this week, Sarah, because I created an affiliate program for the people who are sharing my Done It app.
Yeah.
And Gemini said, "Well, would you like me to build that spreadsheet for you?" And I said, I wanted to see what it would do, so I said yes.
Right.
And it
Right.
just did it. And then Casey made a comment, "Oh, well, you could also have this additional functionality in your spreadsheet." So then I went over to ChatGPT and I said, "Casey said I should add this stuff to my spreadsheet." And ChatGPT said, "Well, here, paste this prompt into Gemini." I said, "Okay."
Wow.
It's amazing there when they give you
Oh
a
my
result that you're
gosh.
really thrilled with, there's always one more thing. They say, "Oh, and I could do this for you, and we could add it
Right.
if you want."
Right. It's
And
that rabbit hole.
right. So what I have learned the hard way is when somebody, when they give you a result and you're happy with it, save it someplace. And what I was doing when they would add that extra cherry on top, I wouldn't save the first version. I would save the version plus the cherry on top, and it would break something in the original prompt or the version I was happy with. Sometimes when they go and add one more thing, it will completely mess up something else. So I'm learning to save things in segments as we go along, sort of like breadcrumbs that if this messed everything up, I've got the previous version, that was solid.
Yes, that's very wise. The other thing that I did, Dean, which I'm not sure I would recommend, is for with the previous version of ChatGPT 5.3 or 5.4, I think it was 5.3, it kept giving me these 3 additional choices, as you say, 3 different cherries.
Yeah.
And so finally, I said, "Oh, this is just wild." So I would copy the 3 choices, put them in a note off to the side, pick one, go down that rabbit hole, and then I would go back and say, "Okay, now do these other." I do them one at a time. But if you do that, it can get really exponential, and you can really go nuts. So I like your approach better.
You said it well when you said I go down that rabbit hole. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You know, And I would say, yes, I like that. Go ahead and incorporate that with the original one and give it to me all at once. And that was my mistake I was making was, I mean, not saving it before the wonderful extras.
Right, because you got the functionality you wanted.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sarah, did you have another question?
No, sorry
Oh,
about that.
okay. Okay. Before we sign off, Paul, do you like Sintra X?
I've only cursory taken a look at it. It seems more cartoonish than the other one that look, you know, marblism. I try to pronounce that. It's
It's
marblism. Marblism. But at any rate, it's an interesting new tool out there. It's something that came up on the radar, and I knew about marblism, so I was trying to compare and contrast them.
Yes. I'm in the room that has a grandfather clock, so. All right. Last time we talked about Helen. Go
Cheers.
ahead, Sam.
It sounds like you're in London. That clock.
Helen, would you be interested next time in sharing your journey with Suno?
Sure.
All right.
We
Was
can do
that
that.
something that people would like? Yeah, we got some sense. Okay, great. And then
I might even write a song before then. Then we can go through
Nice.
the process of creating the music with it.
I love that. And then Dean, would you be interested in sharing the week after that your journey or some of your journey in Go High Level?
Oh, sure. Be happy to.
Okay. Great. Then we're all set for the next 2 weeks. Thank you so much as always. And
Oh, and there is no podcast on Sunday because we're in the middle of revamping everything.
thank you. Thank you
And,
very
and
much.
Dean, would you look at your chat? I sent you a message.
Okay.
All right. Have an awesome week,
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah, great.
And happy
Thanks,
Mother's Day
guys.
to all the mums on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
See you.
Have a great weekend. Thanks, you
Have a
guys.
great weekend.